Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you guys how I do my eyebrow routine and how I maintain them. Once upon a time, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, I used to get my eyebrows waxed. I liked it at the time because I think that our eyebrows were like in, or they were the very big trend at that time. But I just realized, well, for one, I was breaking out like entirely too much, and then also every time I got them waxed, like I progressively got lighter spots around my eyebrows, so like it permanently left it like that, and I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. So I decided to kind of go the natural route. I think over the years, or recent years, women started embracing their more natural brows, and I kind of jumped on that train as well. So as you guys might know already, or I don't know if you can tell on the camera, but my brows are naturally curly, so they go all over the place and they're very wild, and I do have like a bald spot. I think it's in this one over here, and so my brows just kind of do their own thing, so I kind of had to go along with it, but I do have a way that I maintain them. I would say that it's a pretty simple routine, at least that's what I think. I only use like a few tools like tweezers and eyebrow scissors, and of course an eyebrow brush, and that's pretty much it. I did used to use the eyebrow shaver thingy. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if I can like pull it up in a picture or anything, but the eyebrow shavers, they're really good to like getting those really tight spots. So I can use razors, but I feel like the eyebrow ones are better suited for that. However, I can only find them at beauty supply stores, so don't have one in this video, but I may have to bring out a razor just to let you know. It's pretty simple. I'll go ahead and show you guys how I fill in my brows as well. So I don't do much filling in after I've like cleaned them up a little bit, just because it's just a lot easier. But I did change my routine from the last time that I filmed that video, which was about 2 years ago, which is crazy. If you guys are interested in seeing how I maintain my brows and also how I fill them in, then go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so as you can see, they're a little wild and all over the place. I have stray hairs where I don't want them to be at. So just to let you guys know, I did go ahead and get a warm paper towel and put it over my eyebrow just to kind of open up the pores a little bit. I find that it makes it a little easier. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush them with a standard eyebrow brush. And I like trying to brush them up because that's how you can see the hairs that are like uneven. So now taking my scissors, these little scissors over here, I'm not sure where I got these from actually, but if you can find any scissors that are this small, you would probably benefit the most. Otherwise you can use regular ones, but they're probably not going to do the job as well. So going where the hairs are starting to get uneven, so I can see some over here. I'm just gonna trim them up just a little bit, just taking off a little at a time. Less is more because I can always build up. So I don't know if you can see that. Sorry guys. So there's that. That looks really weird. Just brushing through it again. Now one thing about my brows is that they're not completely full. So like I said, I do have some sparse areas in it. So if I brush it and it looks like, whoa, what did you just do? Don't worry, that's because my brows, they're a little difficult. Oops. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going over just to see if there's any other spots that I didn't get. And I always go against the grain of the hair. That makes it easier. Okay, so now that I kind of trimmed it up like that, I can just brush them how I normally would. So like I said, some of these areas are like a little sparse, but it looks way better than what it did before. Whenever I brush it regularly, you can also kind of see which ones are still too long. There are some stray hairs down here, if you can't see it. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get those with these scissors. I try to use these as much as possible so I don't have to pluck or shave. One thing that you can do is you can kind of line it out for yourself if this is your first time. I used to get like a white pencil eyeliner and line it where the hairs were like, I could see where the hairs are sticking out. I don't really do that anymore because I can kind of just wing it, but if you guys want to, you're more than welcome. Just get a white eyeliner and line up how you want your brow to look. Anything that goes outside of that line, then just cut it off. My eyebrows get curly like where it arches, so I always try to get that in place. And then of course I always have some like right up here. And I sincerely apologize if you guys can hardly see what I'm doing. I'll try and do better on the next eyebrow. I've gotten all the hairs that I could with the scissors, so I'm just going to take some tweezers and try to do the best I possibly can. I'm going to turn a little bit more this way because I'm more light. And some of these hairs are easier to get or to pluck out with if they're already trimmed. So like how I cut some of them here, the hairs in half, it's easier for me to pluck it out than compared to if it was like a longer hair. I don't know if that made any sense, but I feel like the shorter the hair is, the easier it is to pluck. So this one looks 10 times better compared to the other. Like I said, I still have the sparse hairs like right here, you can see it, but I'll show you how I fill that in. So yeah, compared to this one, I haven't even brushed this one out. But even when I do brush it out, it's still like, what is going on? This one looks way better. Of course it's not perfect, it's not what it would look like if it was waxed, but I definitely see a difference. Just cut my skin. That's another thing, is being careful to cut your skin, because that's exactly what I just did. I don't think it cut through because it's not bleeding yet. Be careful with these little scissors because they still can cut your skin even though they're not sharp. One thing I realized that I didn't do with this eyebrow that I did with this one is I forgot to do the warm towel over this one, so this one's hurting a little bit more. This side was pretty painless, but yeah, totally forgot to do that. So yeah, this is what they look like after they've been maintained. Definitely this one is my better brow. So I did actually go ahead and bring out a razor. This is just a standard one. You can get these at Dollar Tree, whatever. And I'm gonna get the hairs that are like really smooth and they're above here. I don't know if you can see them. So I'm just gonna, this might be hard to see, so just FYI. Just gonna kind of go down on the brow. And kind of like, I guess kind of like an edge up, but for your brows. So just get sort of those like hairs that are hard to cut and pluck because they're so thin and fine. This one came out so good. It normally doesn't come out this well, but that one's pretty much finished. It's just this one, I still have to do the razor thing on, and then I should be good to go. As you can see, this actually did cut my skin. Thankfully it's not bleeding. So these are done. Of course they're not salon quality, but it's better than what I had earlier. I really love this one. This one has always been my good brow, and then this one has been my rough one, but that one didn't come out that bad. So I'm also about to show you guys how I fill my eyebrows in using the e.l.f. eyebrow kit. So if you want to know how I do that, then go ahead and keep watching. So the eyebrow kit that I use is from e.l.f. It's about $3. You can find it at Target, H-E-B, Walmart, any local drugstore, more than likely. And yeah, so like I said, it's $3, so it is inexpensive. I usually get the medium. I think they have a darker one, but that just literally looks black on my eyebrows, so try to do something a little more natural. So it does have the gel side, and then it has a powder. Sorry, the reflection. It has gel, and then it has powder. The powder side, I don't even know really what it does because it doesn't do much for me. I guess it kind of mattifies it, but I definitely use all of the gel. Here's what it looks like without the reflection. Sorry. So yeah, this is the gel side. I use that, and then there's the powder that goes on top of it. It does have this little brush in here, however this brush doesn't really do much for me, so I do have a different e.l.f. brush. This is the e.l.f. brush that I use. The name of it kind of like rubbed off, but it is a lip liner brush. I just find it easier to use for eyebrows, and also I like having a longer brush than a shorter one. For the concealer, I use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, as I use in every single one of my videos. If I do make a video, I always have this in it. To line it with, I use another lip brush. This is, I don't know what brand this is, but I feel like lip brushes are just easier to lining stuff, and it's also very like sharp. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, so that helps with the lining process. So let's start off with a good eyebrow. I don't know if I'm gonna show you this one. I also had to add Vaseline onto it just to kind of keep the burning from bothering me. I'll go ahead and rebrush the brows, even though I did that like 5,000 times already, just to make sure, because like I said, my eyebrow hairs kind of do what they want with no regard for what I want. That one just looks so good. Like, I am so happy with how this brow came out. Okay, I'll go ahead and dip it into the gel side. You guys can see that. And I usually start off with lining the bottom, so I'll just take a little bit. Oh wow, that came off a lot. It's usually not that easily transferable. So I usually just line the bottom one like that first. And then I kind of like rub the product into the rest of the brow gently. And then I always take it down into the tail, because my tail is like where it's usually the most sparse. And then of course if there's anything at the top that needs to be lined, then I'll go ahead and do that. And of course just brushing the brush through the brows so it can kind of make it like a little more natural, not so like put together, if that makes any sense. Wow, that actually came out really well. That's not what I was expecting. So that eyebrow was very easy. Normally if my eyebrows were as wild as they were before, it would take me a little longer to get it this clean and neat looking, but that's pretty much that one. Honestly, I wouldn't even have to line it. I always just do it just because I like the way it looks, but it doesn't even need to be lined looking at it like this. Okay, so it's not bad, but obviously you can see that they do not look exactly the same. The concealer, I usually just open it up like this. If you saw my original eyebrow routine, you probably know what I do, but do this and then take the brush and just take a little bit off of it. And then go back under, so kind of like what I did with the original brush with the eyebrow product on it, starting at the bottom. But I usually start in the front and then move my way back. I'm gonna draw in a line right there. Okay, and then I always use my finger and kind of smooth it out to blend it a little bit. And try not to blend the actual brow and like wipe away the product. And then at the front, I always do like this. Sorry, this is not blended out completely. Normally for this front part, I'll do like a slanted line, kind of like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know why, but it just helps. And it kind of made it disappear. I don't know if that made any sense to you guys, but I always do it right there too. I'm gonna go a little more in on this brow because it's like, this one's more opaque, if that makes sense. I'll just add a little bit more product in between the brow hairs. Like I said, they are not twins, but I want to get them as closely related as possible.